girl be? Her eyes are open wide, and yet she's in a daydream that's better than real life. She knows a secret country where the grown-ups never go. Why, she's Alice, Alice in Wonderland. Alice, Alice in Wonderland. Curious friends and happy adventures too. Oh, yes, she's Alice, Alice in Wonderland. Alice, Alice in Wonderland. Alice, wait for us, we'll come too.
England, France, Germany, Italy. Oh, drat.
Celia, I don't like to hear you swear.
I'm sorry, Mummy, but I can't help it. At school tomorrow we're having a geography test about Australia, and I can't find it anywhere on the globe.
I'm not a bit surprised you're looking in Europe, and that's wrong. Haven't I just told you that you have to travel for months on a ship if you want to get to Australia?
Aha!
That's better, Alice. Now you've got a chance of finding it.
It's here. Oh! It's a shapeless lump.
That shapeless lump is an enormous continent filled with fascinating animals.
Our teacher says that too, but I don't agree with him. How could anyone like kangaroos and emus and koala bears and duck-billed platypuses? How ugly! Our teacher says there are huge farms with millions of sheep. Shut up! A sheep is no better than a kangaroo or a platypus or an emu.
Tell yourself, Celia.
Now what's got into her? There's nothing wrong with sheep. I do hope it's not me you're frightened of, Your Majesty.
No, we're frightened of that dreadful mouse.
Hiding behind the door there.
And it's hoping that we're going to let it in.
Oh? But mice are absolutely harmless. Celia brought a mouse home once. The poor thing was more frightened of us than we were of it. Yeah, Alice! Yeah, look, Alice! Oh, don't gabble so. Alice! Yeah, look out the mouse!
Now look how brave she is, sitting there shivering. A moment ago she was giving us lectures.
But how was I to know that you were talking about a giant mouse like that? Oh, that mouse is as big as a kangaroo! You're right, Benny. It was as big as a kangaroo. We've got pictures of kangaroos at school and they look exactly like that mouse. Oh, but that mouse isn't a mouse.
Huh?
Your Majesty, that mouse is a kangaroo. The loveliest little kangaroo. Oh, wait, come back. Don't go. You don't have to be frightened of us. We won't hurt you. Wait, kangaroo. Please. Oh. It's disappeared right off the face of the earth.
I don't see any point, but if you really insist, I'll send my soldiers out to search. If it's a genuine kangaroo, perhaps it managed to sneak into Wonderland with that consignment of sheep that arrived from Australia yesterday.
You don't mean there are Australian sheep here in Wonderland, Your Majesty?
There are. They say we're going to have a cold winter, so we need to stock up with woolies. I'm busy having a new pullover knitted for each and every Wonderlander.
I can't stand it anymore. She makes us knit from morning till night. I want to go back to Australia. If only she'd let us use more colours, it would be more interesting.
Your Majesty, pray enter.
Why does it smell of smoke in here?
It's the sheep. They're knitting so fast that their needles are smoking.
Well, now, how do you like this one?
It's lovely. The colour suits you, Your Majesty.
It's my very own design. Oh, is this what you call quality?
We're tired, Your Majesty. We've been knitting for hours. Also, we want to go back to Australia. We're homesick.
And now, if you don't mind, you can start all over again and knit me some pullovers that won't fall to pieces. That's why you're here.
But, Your Majesty...
And no buts. I've had enough of buts. Just do exactly as you've been told. We need pullovers. I will not have my subject freezing this winter. I brought you here from Australia.
Benny Bunny, I think the Queen is going about this entirely the wrong way. If she listened to the sheep and paid attention to their problems, she'd get results.
Yes, the trouble is she doesn't understand the meaning of the word friendly or understanding.
Well, then we must think of some way we can cheer up the sheep. At least we could try and get them a better room to work in. It's awful in a dungeon. Hello there, little girl. The answer to my problem. You'll be able to help us because you come from Australia. You'll know exactly what to do to cheer up those sheep. Would you be prepared to...
This way, man, quickly!
I must go.
Hurry, come back here, the neighbours are away!
We'll all be in big trouble! If he gets away,
hurry, we've got to catch
be
him.
in big trouble.
I don't know why they're chasing him. I'm sure if they called nicely, he'd come to them.
Let's jump on him and grab him.
Why is it saying Mama?
Oh, my poor little darling. Did they frighten you? Are you the ones who frightened my little baby?
It was for his own good. We were trying to catch him for his own good, right?
We didn't want to hurt him, honest we didn't. We just wanted to show him where the kitchen was.
Alice, look at that!
People here don't seem to like us. I don't think we should waste any more time. I think we should go straight back to Australia. Come, my child.
Excuse me. I overheard what you were saying about us, but it isn't true.
It's just because you're so big and fat. Oh,
You see? You don't even know me, but you're already making fun of me, just like they all do in Australia.
Oh, no, nobody's trying to make fun of you. On the contrary, we would like you to help us, please. You see, the sheep need to be cheered up.
You mean you want me to show myself to them to make them laugh?
Look, Benny Bunny, there in the floor. A trapdoor. Please don't go away. I wonder where we are. Strange.
Hello and welcome here, young lady.
Well, thank you.
My name is Parakeet.
Would you mind very much telling us where we are?
Not at all. You're on the other side of the world, down under.
Oh, do you mean we're in Australia?
Yes, that's what we call it over here and over there as well.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, hold on tight or we'll fall, Benny. We're down under on the other side of the world.
Oh, I'm frightened.
This is too much for me, I'm afraid. What does it all mean?
On the other side of the world, everyone walks with their heads facing downward.
Now, where did you get that idea? Watch carefully. Gravity is exactly the same here as there, otherwise I wouldn't be able to fly.
What's gravity?
I've no idea. Yep.
You can let go, nothing will happen to you. You really can trust me, I promise.
Try that again, Benny Bunny.
It's all right.
Phew. I always thought everything was upside down in Australia and everybody walked on their hands. And I also thought people floated away.
You mean like this? I tricked you. You fell for my trap, you believe me. Unfortunately, I have no more time for you two. But once again, welcome to beautiful Australia.
Oh, Parakeet, one moment before you go. Can't you please tell me where we can find the giant kangaroo?
He can't hear you. He's too far away.
Well then, Benny, there's nothing left to do but to look for her ourselves.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Oh, there he is. Look up there.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Carl the koala bear.
We're pleased to meet you, Carl. This is my friend Benny Bunny, and my name is Alice. We come from England.
England? I've never heard of England. Is it far from here?
Yes, very far. Do you perhaps know where we can find the giant kangaroo?
I only know where you can find my family. There they are, up there in the tree. That's my grandfather and my cousin, my sister, and that's another cousin.
Really?
Hello.
Oh.
I would be able to tell you where to find the giant kangaroo. Would you like me to?
Oh, yes, please do. It's important that we find her.
In Australia, that's where all the kangaroos are.
Yes, but where in Australia?
All over Australia.
Silly idiot.
You know what that was? A duck-billed platypus. Duck-billed platypuses can live on land and in the water. They're the most unusual animals.
Also one of the most stupid and the ugliest.
Hello, we're looking for a kangaroo that's even bigger than all of you.
Oh, you must be looking for Fatty, the fattest kangaroo in the whole of Australia. You'll find her over there. She sits in the tree and people insult her. My child is very rude, and perhaps she shouldn't have said that. But she is telling the truth. Fatty is a disgrace to kangaroodom.
They're not very nice about one another. Hello? It's me, Alice. Please, would you mind talking to us? We came all the way here just to find you.
That's what everybody says. But the real reason they come here is because they want to laugh at me.
I've already told you that we don't want to laugh at you. What we want is your help.
We want your help with the sheep. It makes us unhappy to see them so unhappy.
I'm unhappy as well.
Don't go. Oh, please, wait a moment. Please listen to me. The Queen of Hearts has locked up a whole lot of Australian sheep in the dungeons. We feel so sorry for the poor things because they're homesick.
You're telling the truth? You're not lying?
Yes. I've been thinking and I've got an idea of what we could do to help the sheep.
Then tell me.
And that's the whole problem, Your Majesty. Thank you for listening. Now, with your permission, I'd like to make a suggestion. The giant kangaroo will take the sheep back to Australia in her pouch every weekend so that they can get over their homesickness.
And how does that help?
Well, every Monday morning they'll come back happy and fresh and they'll do a much better job of knitting your pullovers.
Speaking for all your knitting sheep, I ask you to accept our proposal, Your Majesty.
Very well. If it means that we're going to get a better quality of pullover, then I agree.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Thank you.
But don't think you can take advantage of me. If those sheep aren't back here promptly every Monday, I'll send my soldiers after you.
Your Majesty, I'm willing to accept responsibility for them. For the first time in my life, I feel as if I'm needed, and it's a wonderful feeling.
If you want to feel needed, I can help you. You can start by taking me to the White Queen.
With pleasure. I'm made for that sort of thing. And I won't charge very much for the service either.
Me pay?
There's nothing for nothing in life, Your Majesty, as I'm sure you very well know.
Put me down at once.
But why, Your Majesty? I'm very cheap.
Thank you, Alice. You've done a wonderful favour for my mother. I've never seen her in such a good mood before.
You've done a wonderful favor for a sheep as well, Alice, and we thank you.
Look, they're coming back. Something must be wrong.
What's the matter, Your Majesty? Have you decided not to go?
Haven't you eyes in your heads? The castle's on fire.
Yes, the castle is burning. Perhaps the cook burned something.
The kitchen is in the east tower, but this smoke is coming out of the cellar.
There's a fire. We're in great danger.
Where is the fire?
Australia, where we live.
Then put it out. Smoke is unhealthy.
Oh, we'd like to put it out, but we don't know how. Koala bears don't understand much about that sort of thing. Oh, my poor family. They're surrounded by an enormous raging fire. Won't you please help us? I beg you.
We've got to do something. We can't just let the poor koala bears burn to death.
The only thing you can do when there's a bushfire is to run as fast as you can.
But that's cowardly.
It's not cowardly, it's plain common sense.
It doesn't look good. Can't you go and see what's happening?
Yes, all right, Alice.
We need water to put the fire out. Where is there some around here?
You won't find a single drop of water anywhere here.
What? You must hurry up! The fire's getting bigger and bigger. You must jump immediately. Jump! What are you waiting for? Jump! Come on, you must jump! You must jump! Jump!
Nevertheless, our hearty thanks. At least you did your best to save us. But we're too heavy for you.
Thank you very much.
Look, there's the Queen and all the other people.
Now, hurry up. You're all very slow. And don't you dare spill any.
Next. No, thank you. Here we go. Ready?
Thank you. Without you, we would never have survived.
Thank you, Carl, but you know I didn't help very much. The real people to thank are the inhabitants of Wonderland. I shudder to think what might have happened if they hadn't come along and helped. They are the heroes of today.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
We saw everything that happened. We're so proud of you.
Forgive us for having made fun of you. Mummy says I must take you as an example and try and be like you when I grow up.
Those are the first kind words I've ever heard from you.
Yes, you must grow up to be like her, only not so big. Oh, forgive me for being so rude.
Oh, if you could only see your face. It's much better to laugh with each other than at each other.
Well, Alice, that must have been a very funny dream. What does our young lady think about leaving the Australian bush for a while and spending some time in an English dining room?
Yes, all right, Daddy. But how did you know that I was dreaming about the Australian bush?
You were talking in your sleep about kangaroos.
Yes, I got to know one, and Carl the koala bear. And now I know the shortcut to Australia by heart.
Oh, I didn't know there was a shortcut to Australia. You can tell me all about it at dinner,
If you like.
Of course I'd like. Can't do any harm to know the shortcut to Australia. Come.
There's a castle, and in the dungeon there's a trapdoor. When you open it, there are lots of stairs, and when you get to the end of the stairs, you're in Australia. I suppose my sister's been dreaming again.
Next time, we would like to tell you what Alice has to say about a ride in a balloon. No sooner does she arrive in Wonderland than she finds herself in the midst of preparations for the Royal Air Balloon Race. The Queen of Hearts, whose idea it was, is personally taking part in her own very beautiful balloon. However, she makes it very clear to all her opponents at the start that they have to let her win the race. What a strange kind of race when you know who the winner is before you begin. But Alice soon discovers that this makes the race more exciting because it's more difficult to lose than one might think. Alice and her friends have to have all their wits about them to make sure they are not the winners. But more about that next time.
That girl be? Her eyes are open wide, and yet she's in a daydream.